All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful day. We are live on this beautiful day. We are live on this beautiful. Let's see. What day is it even today? It's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed as Bitcoin right now is getting a pump. And the question on everyone's mind right now is, well, is the bottom in? All right, is the bottom in? Are we going to pump? What a pump we had yesterday, guys. What a major move we had yesterday. What a major move we had yesterday, guys. We got to give a major shout out to everybody in the chat. First of all, a major shout out to Tauski, who says, bruh. Shout out to Getty. Shout out to Lightbot, came back from the fields. Shout out to HFG, who says, dumpy, dumpy. Shout out to BT, who says, your lives are really helpful, Jason. Guys, if you were here on yesterday's live, you know that we were looking for the back test of $100,000. All right, so make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Also, this long trade you see right here was given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, and I told people when I went long at 12:40 p.m., right over here, right here at the low is when I told everybody I am long. And then, of course, we are in the juiciest of profits. Shout out to the Casper Crew VIP Discord, jasoncaspertrading.com, if you want to join the best community in the world. Also, guys, I'm trading this on WEEX. WEEX is going to give you the lowest fees, period, on a centralized exchange. Make sure to check it out if you're interested in super low fees. Pretty cool, man. So what is happening with Bitcoin? Because we did dump from that high, 111.8, the short setup given in advance in the Casper Crew. Obviously, I've still got the trade open, all right, because I do not close my shorts after securing a take profit one. But the Bitcoin price right now is coming to test a very important zone. And right now, we're actually holding above key resistance, setting ourselves up for a big squeeze to squeeze all this. Guys, can you see what I see? Can you see what I see? All right, you can't see it on the low time frames, but if we go to like the daily time frame here, all right, if we go to the daily time frame, can you guys see what I see? We have ourselves a descending channel here, and if this channel breaks out, we're going for the all-time highs. We are seeing some nice signals printing on the oscillator. All right, some nice signals printing on the oscillator. The signals that we were looking for yesterday, we have a very bullish engulfing candle on the daily from yesterday. We got a very strong reaction from the key level of support around $100,000. We've taken the long trade in the Casper Crew. We've secured our TP1, and now we're letting the rest run to see what's going to happen. So make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Because, guys, look, trading is a crazy thing, all right? Trading is a crazy thing. It could take you from this, where you're driving to McDonald's with Carl from Moon and his Maserati, to feeling like you're on top of the world, baby. Trading, high leverage, no stop loss, feeling like this, out in Cuba, smoking a nice cigar. Then all of a sudden you start taking losses. You wake up one morning feeling like this. All right? Then, next thing you know, you're confused. You're feeling like this, and then you finally end up like this. Sock on the head. Everything gone. Eyes glassy. Beard, 12-year-old Amish kid. Looking like your last name should be Yoder. Jason Yoder trying to sell you some shoe fly pie. So we're going to be breaking down these charts today, guys. Major shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Crypto Coons. God bless you. Shout out to Felipe. My mic is speaking with an Indian accent. Is my gain too high? Let's see what we can do about that. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Shout out to Prom. Can I check the POC? We're going to check it. We are going to check it. Too much gain? All right, we'll lower that for you. There, how's that? Let me know if that's better or worse. Whatever comes first. For better or worse, let me know. Let me know how that is. Sorry, guys, we've got technical difficulties out the wazoo this entire day. All right. Check one, check two, check one. Why am I wearing a parachute? In case of a major dump. In case of free fall mode. All right. All right. Shout out to HFG in the chat. Shout out to Eddie. Bitcoin clearly showing signs of strength. Shout out to Nah, who says 88K. That is a very real potential that we will talk about, okay? How many countdowns? Just 2 or 3, all right? Look, guys, I got a very strange setup here. There were a lot of things that had to be done, all right, before I could go live. Taco Tuesday. All right, it's Taco Tuesday, guys. All right, what's the price going to do? It really depends. It depends. See, here's the thing. We can't know for certain what the price is going to do. But what we can do is we can make a plan, all right? We can plan to take a trade. When price comes to our level, we can execute, and then we can secure the juicy profits on WEEX. Link in the pinned comment if you're looking for the lowest fees in the game. Also, guys, I got to shout out BLOFIN because BLOFIN is currently still offering 20% cash back, discounted fees. And I have to shout out ANTARCTIC exchange as well. Decentralized exchange. If you use my link in the pinned comment and description, you'll get the lowest fees available, period. All right, 0% limit order, 0.01% market order. It's actually a really good deal. All right, so let's talk about the Bitcoin price. We're going to flop on over. We're going to flop and grope on over. Shout out to Flop and Groper. Shout out to CryptoFace. We're going to flop and grope on over here. All right, make sure to smash the likes. If we get 1,000 likes in the first half hour, we'll be giving away $1,000. Now, let's come to our 1 hour time frame. This is the Bitcoin chart. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Guys, would you look at this? Now, yesterday, what did we say? What did we say? We said there's a chance the low could be in. All right. We said there's a chance the low could be in. We were saying we were looking for a back test of $100,000. All right. This was yesterday. Yesterday, we were up here around this area. We were looking for a back test of $100,000. Bam! That's exactly what has happened. Why is this so important? Because this is our sideways range. This is our sideways range. And as we know, when the price comes below this blue line, that means the price is considered undervalued, oversold. And we look for a correction back to the upside. Okay? Once we come back into the fair value zone, which in this case was 102.4, and we hold above, we expect, the probabilities are highest, we actually make our way back up to the top of the range. This is going to be around 108K. Now, there's 2 signs of strength here. Sign of strength number 1 is the fact that we came above the value area low at 102.4. Sign number 2 is that we're currently holding above 105,000, the POC of the range. All right. Now, if we're trading a sideways range here, this is a sign of strength. We take our fib from the high to the low, and you can see that our next major area of resistance is going to be around that 108 area. All right, we've got our Fibonacci golden pocket macro up there. We're currently finding a little bit of resistance here, guys, at our local Fibonacci golden pocket at 106,000. All right, this is an area of resistance. And here's the deal. This is a very key level, line in the sand, because as we were kind of hinting at before, we have this trend line here, right? It's a roughly drawn trend line. Let's be honest. We're not trying to be a Picasso here, all right? We're not trying to be a Picasso. We're not trying to be the other guy who cut his ear off drawing Campbell's soup when he was on drugs, whoever that guy is. But in general, we've got ourselves this, all right? And so if we break out of this, well, man, oh man, you could see that we could squeeze the stops above these levels, all right? And that would probably launch us up to a new all-time high. And that would actually look really nice just from a market structure perspective, because as we're forming this range here, this range is in a context of a larger range, okay? The range we're forming now is in the context of a larger range, and this larger range formed a really nice bottom right down here and got a very, very strong impulse to the upside. Okay, very strong impulse to the upside. Now, when we formed this bottom here, let's put on market cipher B. What did we see at the low? First of all, this was very key support. All right. As we came to the bottom, we saw a very bullish pattern, a bullish divergence, the uneven butt cheek pattern. Not this uneven butt cheek pattern. We gotta mirror mode this. Give me 1 second here. Here we go. Here we go. This big fat cheek on the left, skinny old cheek on the right. You know what I mean? In fact, let's just go ahead and take the cheeks and plop them down here. But you look at the cheekage. Wow. That's called a bullish divergence. And when you see something like this, you expect a reversal. You expect a higher high. That's exactly what happened. We got our higher high. Okay. Now, when we are looking at market cipher B, when you first see that uneven butt cheek pattern, the next trigger wave that appears on the chart following that direction is most likely to give you a very powerful move. All right. And so what we're actually seeing here right now is a confirmed trigger wave oversold on market cipher B. This thing has the potential right here to actually give us a higher high, breaking us out of this channel, breaking us out of this trend line. All right. Now, in this case, we're seeing, you know, that skinnier wave on the right and then that big bottom on the skinny cheek on the left and that big bottom on the right now. This is a continuation pattern. All right. Look, it's a long night. You're at the club, girl. You know, you're dancing. You start thinking to yourself, man, I don't know if I can continue. I mean, the energy is just so high. Maybe we should call it a night. But then you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you're like, you know what? Look at me. I'm having the best night of my life. I must continue. And so you continue. You continue to the upside. Boom! All right. Now, this is actually pretty nice for a number of reasons. Why? Not only did we come down and form the reversed uneven butt cheek pattern, but also, guys, we know that this is a key support. All right, this is a key support here. We're dipping down into the zone between the Fibonacci golden pocket and the 786. All right. We are also coming down into the zone where we have the high volume node of the macro range. What does that mean? It means this. It's the same thing we've been saying now ever since we hit that high. So long as we're not losing this box, we are bullish. All right, because the market structure is bullish, because we had a really nice bottom with a bullish divergence right here on the weekly, on pretty much every single time frame. We started a local uptrend, and now, as long as we don't lose this key support, we can expect an all-time high to come in. Okay, now again, the line in the sand for us is this box right here. We can't be losing the 786. That's like around 95 something. Right? We cannot lose this zone of consolidation here. But so far, things are looking nice. Yesterday, we said we wanted to see the confirmed green dot on market cipher B. Well, we got it. We got it, and it's looking pretty good. Let's go to our 4-hour time frame. All right. What do we have on our 4-hour time frame? As we made this low into the Fibonacci golden pocket, what are we seeing on market cipher? We are seeing the momentum getting higher, the money flow coming up, bullish divergences out the wazoo. All right, so we're seeing bullish signs here as we're coming to the key support. The market structure itself is showing us signs of strength, holding above the value area high. The value area low of our local range, bouncing from the key support of our macro range. And things so far are looking pretty nice. Now, again, I know I came out bearish yesterday, and I have to say that I'm still have to be very cautious on this weekly confirmed red dot. Because the weekly confirmed red dot, the last time we printed this signal, it was the all-time high of Bitcoin before the bear market. Okay? So, what I said yesterday is, yes, this is concerning. But in order for us to feel bullish again, there's three things. Thing number one, the market structure needs to give us signs of strength. So far, we are seeing signs of strength. Now, every decision you make in trading, you're weighing the bullish versus the bearish factors. And that's how you're going to get your bias. So yes, we have a bearish factor here on the weekly for sure. But now we're coming to the daily. We're saying, wow, we got ourselves the confirmed green dot. We reclaimed the value area low. We bounced from key support. Maybe now we can play a game of just kidding. Red dot, green dot, just kidding. We get that extra big push into the fall, right? I hope we play that game of just kidding. It reminds me of in high school, I had this friend who I thought liked me. Her name was 618. The 618 Fibonacci, actually. I thought she liked me. She would laugh at my jokes. You know, she would walk with me to the cafeteria, never sit next to me, but walk with me there as I carried her stuff. And, you know, I thought we had this thing going on, right? So I said, hey, 6, Juanita, will you be my girlfriend? At first, she felt bad. She said, Jay, okay. But then the next time I saw her in the hallway, she said, Jay, just kidding. Just kidding. I can't do that. You're too nerdy. Jay, you know, I'm a cheerleader. You're a band geek. You know what I'm saying, Jay? I'm way out of your league. And so she did reject me. And so I'm hoping we play a game of just kidding here, right? Red dot. Just kidding, Jason. You know. Now, speaking of getting rejected by 6 Juanita, that brings us to our other point here. Remember this. If the top is in, let's assume the top of the bull market is in. What do we need to be aware of right now? Here's the deal. Right now, we understand our key support. If we're swing trading this, if we're looking at high time frame analysis, okay, we know our key support is the 618 Fibonacci retracement. All right, this is where we found our support. Our key resistance is going to be the 618 Fibonacci retracement to the upside, right around $106,000. That's our 618 perfect confluence with the value area high of the range. Yes, things look good locally here. Remember, we have ourselves this trend line. This trend line is either going to break out, and that's very bullish, or it's rejected. Now look at the three things we have right here. What do we have right here? We have a Fibonacci, we have a value area high, and we have a trend line. If the top is in here, this is going to be our first lower high, and then we would actually expect to move back down to the bottom of the range. So we need to be watching very carefully at what happens at 106, 109K. All right, we have the Fibonacci golden pocket. Here's a picture of 6 Juanita, the 618 Fibonacci, 61.8% retracement to the upside. We know she's trying to reject us. We also have her older sister, the 786 Fibonacci. Definitely won't go out with us, right? I thought back in high school, you know, if 6 Juanita won't go out with me, let me ask out her older sister. I asked her out, and in a very deep, stern voice, she said, Jason, no, I'm not interested in guys like you. All right, so that's going to be our key resistance right there. Very, very key resistance. If that weekly red dot is going to actually play out, this is where we would get the rejection from. Now, these two boxes I have on my chart, guys, if we are high time frame traders, these are really the only two boxes that matter right now. Our local resistance, our local support. In between these two zones is all we should be caring about. All right, if you're a high time frame trader, these are the two boxes that you should only care about. Why? Because the only trade opportunities are going to come from these boxes on the high time frames. All right? There's a potential for a short up here. There's the potential for a breakout and back test long up here. All right? Down here, there's a potential for another long. We come down. Remember, we put this low in on a weekend here, so we can't really trust it. We come down again. We bounce from our next support, 95, 96,000. And then we get another drive of bullish divergence, and we get a long in there. Contrarily to that, we lose this. We come for the back test, we can look for a short down to $87-ish thousand value area low. These are the only things, if you want to clear out all the noise and wait for those key setups, those are the places you want to be looking, right? You know, there's a reason why I took very, very few trades the last few months. Well, I guess the last 2 months or so since April, I've taken very, very few trades. Taken 9 trades since April. All right, but there's a reason why. And when we're coming down to this key box, this is when I'm taking trades. This is when I'm letting the community know I'm taking trades, fresh ones. All right? When we come to the highs of these ranges and I'm looking for shorts, you know, that's where I'm giving these setups. It's from these key levels. All right? These key levels. Now, this is very important stuff, guys. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Now, depending on what happens here, in my opinion, will determine also the rest of the week. If we can get a breakout of this trend line, that's very, very bullish right now, okay? That is very, very bullish. So, let's talk about some other scenarios. Make sure to like the stream. We got over 1,000 people in the house. We've only got 200 likes. All right, the king of Bitcoin says the top is in people, all right? Remember, right now, we've got mixed signals. All right, we've got mixed signals. All right, it's very confusing. It's like, you guys know, it's confusing like me when I was in college. Got my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender studies. Because look, if you're going to be a trans, you got to make sure you're non-carbon as well. Because carbon is evil. So I had a sad story. You know, I got my degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender studies. And so I get my degree. I'm $500,000 in debt. And I can't find a job. I don't know why. I'm applying to all these companies. And they're like, we need experience. I'm like, bro, I don't need experience. I went to college and I talked about stuff. You know, I talked about stuff intellectually. Isn't that all you need in life? To like talk about hypothetical scenarios? And now you're an expert? They said no. No job, $500,000 in debt. Then I find out I'm made of carbon. My goodness. Devastating. And to make it worse, all the fake vegan meats I was eating at the time were giving me so much gas that my rear end was a carbon machine. Now, the one good thing about this is when you get your degree in trans non-carbon binary emission gender studies, you learn a lot about something called intersectionality. Intersectionality is when on the chart you have multiple things that intersect in the same place. Like for example, you can see here we have this trend line, we have the value area high, we have the Fibonacci 618, the Fibonacci 0.65, the Fibonacci 786. And so let's entertain the top being in, because let's just entertain what has happened the last 3 years in the summer. All right, let's look at these summers. These summers, we have these ranges. All right, summers, we have these ranges. All right, summer, we have this range. Okay, what has happened the last 2 summers? We have a summer lull. All right, the summer lulls. LOLZ. Ha 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 ha. The lulls. We get the lulls. You guys ever get the lulls? Everything's just so funny. Ha 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 ha. All right, the summer lull. What's the summer lull? The summer lull is you're really happy because things look bullish. Then the summer is actually sideways and down until August, and then bam! All right. Now, also, 2024. The summer lulls. Everyone was LOLing up here. May, June, man, we're a bullish baby. Bitcoin ETF, man, this is it. Man, oof. Into August and then bam. All right. Now, what do we got up here? The same thing. And we have some pretty bearish high time frame signals at the top. What this means, guys, is if we don't play the game of just kidding and break out of our trend line and break out of 107, honestly, based on the pattern, the chances are actually high that we come down not just to the high 80s, but potentially even come back down to backtest the bottom of our range in the mid to low 70s. All right. So this is such a key zone. Speaking of intersectionality, this is such a key zone up here where if we do reject from it, it actually does give us the very real potential of the move back down to the low of the range, culminating in a August low. And if we're going to see Bitcoin hit new all-time highs, which I am in the camp that yes, I am in the camp that the Bitcoin top is not in, then I would expect that to happen then in the fall, okay? But that would be the pattern that we've seen the last few summers. If the real top is in, then definitely 106 to 108 is the place to get into your bear market swing short. Unless, of course, you're already in a swing short from the exact top, you know, from the setup given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Now, one of the main reasons why I think the top is not in is because I'm actually in 2 shorts from the exact top right now. I'm in about a $300,000 position. No, I think it's a $250,000 position from the exact top. There's no way the market maker's going to let me get away with that. There's just no way. All right? I am not that guy. I'm not that trader that shorted the exact top. Okay? What's going to happen to me is I'm going to get wicked out. Okay? I'm going to end up short from around the exact top, but it's going to be a scalp. I'm going to like see a scalp trade right here and like take out 75% of the trade here and then be in this tiny little short for the way down. That's what's going to happen to me. All right, I'm not the kind of guy that gets in a $250,000 short from the exact top and just, that's it. No, doesn't happen to me. All right, it doesn't happen to me. All right, it might happen to one of y'all, but it don't happen to me. Okay, so Bitcoin holding along this area. I don't think the top is in. We have some very bearish signs on the weekly time frame. I'm hoping we play one last game of just kidding on the weekly to get that last big push. One little sign of hope here on the weekly, guys. Real quick, make sure to smash the likes. Smash the likes! We got over 1,000 people in the house. We have 1 like. Guys, if we get 1,000 likes, do you guys understand? I am giving away $1,000, man. You guys hate money, man. Y'all hate money. I hate money too. I hate money too. One good thing about this weekly market Cipher B. Money flow is getting thicker here. Keep your eyes in this yellow oscillator direction. This thing starts to curve back up. Similarly to what we saw over here. We could very easily play a game of just kidding. I actually really like this money flow on the weekly. The 4-day, The 5-day, The 2-day actually looking pretty nice here, I'll be honest with you. This 2-day trigger wave looks like it could give us the break. The big break! Shout out to everybody liking the video. God bless you guys. Jim Cramer said he was bullish. No! We have to listen to the chart, not our feeling, says the King of Bitcoin. Well, there's more than just that, King of Bitcoin. We're talking about the 4-year cycle. All right, there's a lot of things that point to the fact that the top is not in yet. All right, so I'd say the chart is right now a little ambiguous. All right, structure's becoming bearish. Look, and we're still in the range here. We are still in the range. Right here, there's no reason to get over bearish until we lose the range. But here's the thing. Okay, listen to me. Now, I tell you something. The way that I like to trade is this. I'll be honest. I don't care. I don't care. Is the top in? I don't care. Is the bottom in? I don't care. I'll tell you why. Because when I'm trading, I just look for the setups. I secure, take profit one, and then I'm in something called the schlong, right? The long and short at the same time. I am literally right now short from the exact high. I am long from $100,000. I'm long from $85,000. I'm sitting pretty no matter what happens. We're just weighing the bearish and the bullish factors. The way I trade is, I just wait for a setup, okay? I was doing my New York Open VIP live stream yesterday. People asked, hey, Jay, you know, what if we get to $103,000 first? It's like, I don't know. I don't care. Like, look, when you're in the middle of nowhere like we were yesterday, I was telling the community, there's no trade to be had. I don't care if you're bullish or bearish. There's no trade to be had. There are only trades to be had when you have a plan for them. And yesterday in the New York Open live stream, we were going over exactly how to plan, exactly what position size to use, how to plan for every little detail of your trade. And when you get a setup, then you have yourself a trade, all right? You take the trade, and then it's either a win or a loss. Once you secure that take profit one, which we did, now guess what? I'm guaranteed to have made money on the trade no matter what. No matter what. Same with the short. I'm guaranteed to have made money no matter what. No matter what. All right. So look, I'd say that things look pretty ambiguous right here. We have a bearish kind of rounded top, okay? But we have some continuation signals at key support. And you know how Bitcoin loves to mess with everybody. So something like this would not surprise me. That would not surprise me. This whole structure here, I have to be honest with you. I've never seen so much bearish sentiment in the bull market ever. Like, people were screaming, the top is in, the top is in, the top is in. I was saying, I expect a retracement down to the 70s, and then our last big shot for the bull market. So I'm still going to go off that. All right, when we were down here, I said, I don't necessarily know if the specific low is in, but definitely I expect the general low to be in. Once we reclaimed $86,000, I was screaming from the rooftops that we're very bullish because we've changed into bullish market structure. I'm still looking at this as a potential move to the upside that has retracements in, right? So, or I'm even looking at this as a sideways range that we can still trade. When we go, and we were looking at this yesterday as well, but when we take a look at the halvings, right? And when those things occur, the top is usually in 500 days after the halving, all right? So we still have time. We still have time for that top to come in, all right? We're probably looking for that in the fall if we're going to stick to the schedule. And it's a very accurate 4-year schedule. And when we look at the previous summers, we also see the pattern of the summer range, which culminates in a big pump. So I think there's a lot of technical reasons to still be bullish here, all right? And there are some other reasons as well, like the bearish sentiment, man. It's pretty crazy. There's so many bears here right now. I mean, I'll be honest with you. It's more bearish, way more bearish now than it was here. I remember, this is funny, I'll never forget this one guy in my chat. His name was Brett PG. All right, Brett PG coming in here in all caps. He must have been a boomer. I don't know why boomers type in all caps. All right, I do it too. I'm a boomer as well. Us boomers, we type in all caps. Saying Bitcoin will never see the 70s again. Never. 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 There's no way. Because I was saying, look, what makes the most sense here is we had a breakout, now we come back for a retest, and this is the big place. They say it's never. People were super bullish here. What's interesting is now that we made this double top, everybody's saying, it's the same as last time, and it does look very similar. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say this looks bullish, the double top with the bearish divergence. But I am going to say it's weird that everybody's calling the top now when nobody was calling the top back here. It makes me think the market's not going to do what everyone wants it to do. It makes me think we get one more big push. One more big push, and then when everybody's convinced we're going to keep going up forever, that's when the top is going to come in. Probably around the fall, September, October of 2025, just to keep us on that schedule, right? And then the fall of 2026, let's just say August, give or take, summer, fall 2026, this is going to be the bottom. All right, this is going to be the bottom. All right, so we have our high probably, depending on what happens in the summer, around here. Then we get our low in like 2026, the fall. And then we pump again and enter into another cycle, right? We enter into another cycle. We take another cycle. We take the post-psychotherapy to keep us from growing man boobies. You guys know what I mean about the post-psychotherapy? Everyone needs post-psychotherapy because they all bought the top. They all bought the top. Now we gotta hold our bags on the way down. By the way, guys, if you want to trade, check out WEEX. Lowest fees in the game for a centralized exchange. ANTARCTIC is the lowest fees, period. Decentralized exchange, meaning you hold your assets on your own wallet. You don't put them on a platform. You won't get your account frozen or anything like that. Everything's done via smart contract on the blockchain. And if you use my link right now, not only do you get the lowest fees, but you can earn ANTARCTIC points. Check this out. All right. ANTARCTIC points. You can earn these points. And basically, you're going to get a whole bunch of cool stuff. All right, on the exchange. Also, when you trade on this exchange, you own the exchange, right? You get paid because there's no market makers. It's peer-to-peer. So when people pay fees, you get paid. When people get liquidated, you get paid. If you trade on the exchange, you own the exchange, right? It's by traders for traders. Also, guys, make sure to check out BLOFIN because they are giving you the juiciest 20% cash back. Bonus $500 back. Discounted fees. 0% limit order, cheap market order fees, chance to win all these prizes. Check out BLOFIN, link in the description. Also, if you want to join the community where we give the setups in advance, like the one we gave yesterday, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, link in the description, and click the link to join the best trading community in the world. Is that a little exaggerated? I don't know. Honestly, don't know. We might be the best trading community in the world. Shout out to the king of Bitcoin with some words of wisdom. The market doesn't reward prediction. It rewards preparation. That is the truth. That is the truth. Christopher says, consume bull testiclites for maximum gains. Shout out to Sergeant Squid. Shout out to Crypto Coons. Posting the links in the chat. You just shorted 106. Any advice? Yeah, use good risk management and stick to your plan. Your grandpa would always text in all caps. Yeah, I don't know. Shout out to my man Sergeant Squid. Seems to be a boomer as well. Powell reaffirms wait and see posture. Man, Powell, the king of wait and see. Jerome Powell, the king of wait and see. It's going to top at 112,500 in the fall. That would be a very anticlimactic event, honestly. Are there any other mods in the chat right now? I think I saw Splash up in here. But shout out to my man, Crypto Coons. Let's take a look at the order flow here. Every cycle, Bitcoin is dumping less. That is true, a few percentage less. You expect only a 60% drop. You don't think we're going to 38K? If Bitcoin hits 150,000 this cycle, then I will tell you exactly where my bottom prediction is. All right, based on Fibonacci. Based on Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Bitcoin hits 150. Let's use the magnet tool here. I expect us to come down to $45,000 Bitcoin. A $45,000 Bitcoin. Just front running that 786 a little bit. The $45,000 to $50,000 Bitcoin. Right? right down to around that low that we put here in August 2024. If we hit a $150,000 Bitcoin. Shout out to Sudeep. Shout out to Lucky Jim Bob. He's here, man. Shout out to J Armo. Shout out to Flo Fuss. He says long XRP. Someone else says short XRP. Bitcoin next low could be 50 to 60K. The bear market low, I think it'll be a little bit lower than that. I think everybody would be looking at 50K, 60K, the back test of the previous all-time high. But I'm going to go based on my Fibonacci theory. All right, my Fibonacci theory is this. We got ourselves the golden pocket, not the golden pocket. We got ourselves every single time Bitcoin bottoming out in between the 786 and the 886 fib. So from the low to the bull market top, you can see the bottom is right in this pocket. Then we go from the bear market bottom to the top, and you can see that the bottom of the bear is right in this pocket. Then we go from the bottom to the top, and you can see that the bear market bottom happens right in this pocket here. Then we go from the bottom to the top, and you can see the bear market bottom is right in this pocket here. But one thing that's interesting is every time we dip in there, it's a more shallow dip. The first time we dip below with a wick. Second time we wick into the middle. The third time we just kind of get our candle bodies in the middle. The fourth time we just touch that 786 almost to the dollar with the candle body. And so that's why if we go to 150,000, I would expect a front run now of that 786. So the 786 is going to be here. Now we expect a more shallow dip. So come up to 150K. And then by the summer of 2026, maybe just a front run of that. It's like a $45,000 Bitcoin. And that would continue our pattern here based on the Fibonacci. Fibonacci. Man, what a crazy chart Bitcoin is. Look at Bitcoin. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, that's amazing. The euphoria. I am feeling that euphoria today. Are you guys feeling it? You guys feeling that? Feeling that fat euphoria? The simple carbs and then the trans fats all together giving you that euphoria. Eating that powdered sugar donut from Dunkin' Donuts. The trans fats mixed with the high fructose corn syrup gives you that short-term euphoria, only to end up crashing you down with a fit of diabetes. Nick Flip says, I got locked up, they won't let me out. Man, I forgot about that song. Making so much money. All right. My heart is cold and hard from trading. I'm telling you, look, trading will take you from this. You're so excited. You're watching Carl from the moon. You're envisioning yourself going to McDonald's with him in the Maserati. Next thing you know, you're on a treadmill, screaming into a plunger, no stop loss, high leverage. Then you feel like you're a big shot. Out in Cuba, smoking a fat Cuban cigar by the pool on the beach. Then you start taking some losses. You wake up one morning looking like this, haven't cut your hair in weeks, in years, trying to drink more coffee from your market Cipher mug. Then the next thing you know, you're confused. You don't know what's going on. You put on some weight. You don't know what color your hair is supposed to be. And then you just end up like this, depressed. Sitting in the bathroom on the floor with a sock stretched around your head, glassy eyes, unibrow. 12-year-old Amish kid beard. It's a sad life as a trader. All right? But there's a sweet spot. This is the sweet spot, guys. All right, it's right in the middle of the journey. All right? We don't want to be here. We don't want to be here. Well, we do want to be here. We don't want to be here. All right? Because pride goeth before destruction. All right? This leads to this. But this will keep you humble. This will keep you in the zone, baby. This is what we want. I'm telling you. All right, we're getting a little bit more of a pump with Bitcoin here. We're looking to break out of the trend line from the setup given in advance in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Told the community I'm long. And it was hard to type this, guys. I literally took the trade, believe it or not. All right, I took the trade in the ocean. I was literally in the ocean when I took the trade. I'm not gonna lie. And so my fingers were wet. My fingers were wet. All right, I was in the ocean when I took the trade. I felt like Crypto trading in the ocean or something like that. You know? I'll show you. I was trading in the ocean. Of course, I took this video when I was out of the ocean. But look, I'm trading on the beach, looking at all these people, thinking to myself, man, I wonder if any of them are trading. And you know what's interesting? I went for a walk. I went for a walk the other night. The other noche. I went for a walk. And I'm walking past this house, and I look in the window, and I see a bright light flashing. And it's this woman sitting in front of a trading view, and her window's open a crack. Now keep in mind, I went for a night walk with my weighted vest on. It's a bulletproof vest, so I look like a total either a nut or a douchebag walking out here at night, right? And guess what? I literally almost walked up to her open window and said, "Hey, what are you trading?" Then I realized, Jason, you idiot, you can't just do that, man. You know, I spend so much time not in society, I forget that's totally not normal to walk up to someone's open window at night with a bulletproof vest and say, "Hey, I was looking at your computer screen through your open window. I want to have a conversation with you." So I withheld. I withheld myself. Okay? But, I wanted so bad. I was trying to squint because I couldn't see. I was trying to, is that Bitcoin? What is she trading? I saw the TradingView ticker, you know, turning red and green over here on the side, right here. I'm like, man, what is that? I was trying, I came so close to the window. I'm glad they didn't see me. That would have been intense, man. That would have been intense. You know, maybe that would have been nice. I don't know. If somebody did that to me, I'll have to be honest, they might get shot. But I live out in the middle of the country. So if someone's coming through my window, they're getting shot, honestly. But, yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing I got the bulletproof vest. All right. Yeah, it was probably the right call. Shout out to Dylan Waves. But man, I wanted so bad to strike up that convo with this random woman. That would have been so dang creepy, man. I came home, I told my wife about it. She also agreed I made the right decision. All right. She also agreed I made the right decision. Can we go skinny dipping? You could do whatever you want, all right? You can do whatever you want. I have to be honest, all right? Whenever I'm not out on the homestead, one of the biggest things that bothers me is the fact that I can't pee wherever I want, when I want. You know, when you're out on the homestead, you can just pee wherever. But if you're in civilization, you got to be careful. Now, let me tell you, I'm an expert at peeing in public. In fact, I remember back in my band days, I've peed in city streets just out in the open. Here's the thing, hidden in plain sight. When people don't expect it, they're not really going to be looking for it. All right? Just pretend like, you know, you're in a corner or something. You got your hands down there, right? To aim, to make sure things aren't getting on your shoes. Here's the trick. Hold your phone in one hand and keep the fib steady in the other. If someone says, "Hey, are you peeing?" You say, "No, I'm just checking my phone." And they're like, "Oh, okay, good to go." All right? Shout out to Divine Hood. God bless you. Shout out to Memory Man. God bless you. All right? Here we go, guys. The Bitcoin price is pumping. Let's see. Can we get, we've been streaming for a while now. Can we get 1,000 likes in the next 10 minutes? Less than half need to like the video. Can we do that? I'm not gonna lie, I actually did that trick once with the phone. It was back in the flip phone days. You know, I had to pee. I was out in some neighborhood. Believe it or not, I was meeting up with some guy because I was auditioning for his band. We were trying to start a band. And, you know, it's not the kind of relationship where I could ask, hey, man, can I go pee in your bathroom? So I peed in his neighbor's bushes. And his neighbor came out. What are you doing? I'm just on my phone. She's like, yeah, right. You were urinating on my bushes. I said, no, I would never. I said, look, put me to the test, all right? If tomorrow your bushes are dead, you know I was urinating. If they're fine, you know it was just checking my phone. All right. Can we get 1,000 likes in the next 10 minutes? By 9 o'clock a.m. Can we do that? Is Jerome speaking today? Let's check it out. Let's go to good old forexfactory.com. I used to trade Forex. Now I trade 200x, baby. I don't think Powell's speaking today. Shout out to Sunshine Girl who had to change her name. God bless you, Sunshine Girl. Oh wait, no, he's testifying at 10 a.m. Guys, in 1 hour. Fed Chair Powell is testifying. Oh man. He's going to testify on the semi-annual monetary policy report before the House Financial Services Committee in Washington, D.C. Ooh, let's see if he comes out hawkish. He's going to say, I don't know. He's going to say, I don't know. I don't know. Inflation was lower than we thought. We paused rates. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know. Drink your urine if you run out of water. Yeah, I know. I remember my dad telling me about this. You know, when I was a kid, he said, Jay, you know, look. He was reading this article about these people that they were in an earthquake. They were stuck under some rubble and they survived by drinking their urine. I thought, I hope that never happens to me. And praise the Lord, it has not. All right, praise the Lord, it has not happened to me. I'm very thankful. Thank you, Lord. I don't want to have to drink the pee. But look, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. All right? You've got to do what you've got to do sometimes. We're getting the likes. We're getting about 600 likes. We've pumped the likes a little bit. We've got a little bit more time. How do you get over the fear of losing? Check out the free course. All right, guys, check out the free course. Check out the free course. All right. 16 sessions. Free course. All right. Check out this right here. How to use risk management to become profitable. Free trading course, part 2 of 18. All right. Check it out. Check out this one. Right here. We'll check them out all, but how and when to enter trades. Perfect entries. All right, check out this. Trading psychology. Very important. All right, check out the free course. If you are scared taking trades, guess what? It means you're not doing it right. You should not be scared taking trades. If you're scared to take a loss, it means you're risking too much money. It means you don't have your risk management strategy in check. Okay? The only way you should be able to take a trade, shut your phone off, and go to sleep and sleep soundly because of how little fear you have about taking the loss. If you can't do that, then you're not trading, you're probably gambling. Straight up. Now, the only reason you should be able to not sleep and you stay up all night is because, like me, you're addicted to the dang charts. You love the charts, and you like to watch the volatility. It's like a never-ending Netflix series. What's going to happen next? There's no resolution. All right? It just goes on and on forever. All right? It'll turn you into, not that, this. It'll turn you into this, and if you're not careful, it could turn you into this, too. You got to make sure you're sleeping, guys. All right? I'll tell you, I've been sleeping 8-9 hours a night. I've even been taking little 30 to 45-minute naps in the day. I've been super lazy lately. I used to be that whole grind guy back in 2021, 2022. right? But then in 2023, it caught up to me, all right? And so now I'm lazy as heck, all right? I sleep. I go to bed at like 9 p.m. I wake up between 5 and 6, and I'll take a nap if I want to. 12, 1. You know? I tell you. You got to make sure you sleep, man. Sleep is the best thing. I love sleep. I love sleeping. It makes you feel so good. You'll actually be way more productive if you sleep. You'll be a better husband, a better father, a better trader. You'll feel better. You'll be stronger. You'll be leaner. You'll be more jacked. All right? You'll feel good. I'm telling you. Wow. Sleep. I wish we didn't have to, but we do. All right? So take advantage. Yeah, right. We were going to look at order flow. Let's take a look. Sunshine Girl said, if you're a girl and you just keep sitting and trading and don't exercise, you'll get trader's arse. I think we all can get trader's arse. All right? We can all get trader's arse. This can't be real. XF chart's been glitching out the wazoo. All right. But right now, let's check out the order flow. Hang on. That wick is really messing everything up. Is that wick real? Goodness. Okay, this move up here, guys, from yesterday, is pretty much a massive short squeeze. It appears as if we had, like, I don't know if this is real or not. It appears as if we had, like, millions of longs open up at the exact top, but then immediately close out. But this has been a short squeeze so far. So it initiated as a short squeeze. If we want continuation, we must see now actual buyers come in. The good news is that we're holding key resistances as support. Okay, make sure if you're long from here that you hit your TP1. Please take some profit out, guys, because we are coming to very important resistance here. All right, this is not the time to get greedy. Okay, this is the time to lock in some profits here. All right, this is the time to lock in some profits here, please. But yeah, if we want to see when New York opens, again, please remember the low is put in on a weekend. And this has been a short squeeze, so don't be surprised if we do that, okay? That would not surprise me at all. And I'd still be looking for longs because things would still be looking bullish down there. It's a zone of support. But yeah, so far it's been a squeeze. It has not been a very healthy move to the upside with new longs coming in. Trader's arse. What exactly is trader's arse? It's like this, all right? It's like that. I'll be honest with you guys. My arse right now is absolutely destroyed from doing, believe it or not, goblet squats, man. Goblet squats. Because, you know, I don't really have a real gym here right now. All I've got are like these dumbbells on the floor back there and that little bench. All right, so my leg days have pretty much just been goblet squats, dumbbell Romanian deadlifts, Bulgarian split squats with the dumbbells, calf raises, reverse lunges, all that. But man, my butt is pretty sore from goblet squats. You know, it just goes to show you, man. I could barbell back squat, you know, 315 for pretty high rep. And yeah, I get sore, but you mix it up, you start doing 95-pound goblet squats for like 60 reps, man, that'll wreck you. It's crazy, man. You got to mix it up. The bro scientists are right, man. The bro scientists are right. Muscle confusion, baby. That's the way to go. Muscle confusion, baby. That's the way to go. Do I think your Solana long at 130 is safe? I don't really know. You know, I don't really know, and I can't really say for certain. But make sure you're using good risk management. That's all I can say. What are my take profit rules? I always TP1 when my TP1 is going to get me more money than I initially risked on the trade, okay? All right. Pistols. Yeah, those are crazy. Pistol squats are pretty insane. It is Taco Tuesday. How do you get abs? Banana Republic? I'm going to tell you how to get abs, okay? This is going to sound crazy, and I don't know if this is going to work for you, but I'll tell you how I got abs. All right, here's how I got abs. Heavy compound lifts, working out hard. Okay, working out hard, like hard, where the sets are very close to failure, and you have to brace your core. All right, deadlifts, beltless, squats, front squats, beltless, weighted chin-ups, weighted dips, where you have to use your core. All right, your abs will get big, they will get thick, they will grow. When you have thick abs that are bigger than what am I trying to say? Like when your abs hypertrophy, all right, when your abs hypertrophy, then they will show through body fat. All right, they will show through body fat. So people say, Jay, there's no way you're like 17%. I think I'm like 17% body fat in this picture. All right, when you zoom in on my stomach, you can see I have tons of fat over the abs. All right, there's fat, but because my abs are strong, it pokes through the fat. It's just like your bicep. All right, your bicep, when you have, all right, fat around your bicep, if you have big biceps, your biceps are going to look defined, right? They're going to look defined because you got big muscle underneath. You know, my dad, when my dad was in his 30s, he was 225 pounds at 6'2", and he was walking around pretty fat, all right? But because he was big, he looked jacked, all right? Here's something else you got to do. You got to eat a lot of food to fuel your workouts. This is totally against what everyone else says. I'm leaner when I eat more because I have more energy to do the hard workouts that's going to fuel my body to build and grow the muscle. All right? So I right now can maintain that kind of physique eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. All right? I eat as much as I want till I'm totally satisfied. I don't have to starve myself, because when you have the energy in your body, and you're sleeping right, and you're eating the right kinds of foods, that energy is going to be used to fuel your muscles, build your muscles, repair your body. That's honestly, I know this sounds crazy, right? I remember I used to try and get abs by starving myself. I used to try and cut, right? I used to try and cut. See, look, people say you're under 10%. There's no way, man. There's no way. I've got so much fat on my body. I'm telling you, man. There's no way. Here's the thing. You're fatter than you think you are. Everybody's fatter than they think they are. The only way you'll realize how fat you really are is if you try and diet down to get lean. All right? The leanest I've ever been was like 12%. Was like 12%. And I was way more cut than I am now. So I have to assume I'm fatter now than I was then. I'm not fat. I'm not saying I'm fat as in Mr. I'm not saying I'm fat like I'm a fat person. I'm saying I have higher body fat percentage. I have a higher body fat percentage. Uh-oh, ceasefire broken. Is that true? There's no way I'm under 10% body fat. There's no way. There's no way. You can see it even here. There's no way. You can see the fat in between the abs. I'm telling you, man. Look, give it a shot. Here's what you got to do. Put my bro science theory to the test. All right, eat super high calorie, stay active, eat a whole food diet, okay? Don't eat anything that comes in a package that has more than 4 ingredients. Get your carb sources from fruits, vegetables, potatoes, legumes, and that's it. Don't eat the grains, don't eat the wheat, don't eat none of that stuff, don't eat the palatable. You can eat like 3 servings of pasta in 2 bites, all right? Eat fruit, potatoes, sweet potatoes, parsnips, beets, vegetables, Eat eggs and dairy and meat. Eat as much as you want. Eat as much as you want and train hard. All right? Like, you're ending the set because you need to end the set, not because you feel like, I did enough, right? You're done with your workout. You cannot do another set. All right? Train hard. Use good programming. All right? Eat tons of food. And see what happens. All right? See what happens. Because I did it the other way, too. You know? I tried to eat cut. You know? When you flood your body with nutrients, when you're eating tons of fruits, I'm talking like thousands of calories a day in just fruit and potatoes. You could eat some pseudo grain in there, eat some quinoa maybe, once in a while, maybe some rice. But when you eat these nutrient-dense foods and you flood your body with energy, see what happens. All right, this is only for people that that are not lazy, honestly. Real bread is not bad for you. I agree. I agree that real bread's not bad. Jim Cramer says he's bullish. That means we could probably dump. Uh-oh. All right, ceasefire done. All right, we're going for the low, baby. We're going for the low. Still fasting? Yeah, of course. Like, look, here's the thing. You can still fast, but when you eat, you gotta eat, all right? When you fast, you gotta fast. There's a time for everything, okay? Yeah, eating enough is super important. That's for sure. It says low-key singularity. Crap, the ceasefire's over, guys. Studies show the less you eat, the longer you live. I'll be honest, I don't believe any studies, all right? I don't believe in science. I believe in science. Look, a study could show anything. I don't know. I don't know what's true. I don't know what's true. I understand because I've heard that too. They say the constant caloric deficit will make you live longer. Maybe, but here's the thing. If that's true, would you rather live a miserable, hungry life where you don't have energy to do anything and you're a beta male loser sitting there on the couch with no energy, Brian Johnson trying to live to 250,000 years, and his whole life is literally like a vitamin protocol where he's constantly hungry to just try and live longer? Or would you rather live a productive life where you've got the energy and you've got the drive, man? You've got the strength and the power to do what you got to do what the Lord's called you to do. Look, I'd rather have the strength and the power, you know? I think it's a blessing to be able to eat. It's a huge blessing, all right? It's a curse to not have food. And a lot of people don't have it. So, I think it's a blessing, all right? Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus, that I can eat, right? I just don't feel like a low-calorie diet is good for you. I just don't feel like it. I mean, imagine this. You have a car. You know, they say the less gas you put in it, the longer the car will last. Well, you're right, because the car's not going to be able to go anywhere because it doesn't have any fuel. So it's going to sit in your driveway. Maybe you'll start it once in a while just to keep the engine going. You'll change the oil. But the car's not going to take you anywhere. It's going to look nice, but it won't function well without that fuel, baby. All right? Shout out to And1. The energy in life, I'm telling you, the reason I have so much energy, first of all, the Lord. Praise the Lord. The Lord, He restores my soul. But the second reason I have so much energy is because of my lifestyle, man. Like sleeping, eating high calories, whole foods, nutrient dense, unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables and potatoes and all this stuff and beans and meat and eggs and dairy, raw dairy. I'm telling you, honey, all these things that people ate for forever. That's energy. That's like energy. It's giving your body energy, especially carbs, man. Carbs are energy. Yeah, I didn't change the candle colors. I know. In the future, we're going to become immortal. I guess that's the goal of the Brian Johnson type person. Look, true immortality comes from a relationship with Jesus being born again. Everything else is a counterfeit. Do I drink water when I fast? Yes, I've never done a dry fast in my life. What is my hobby? I don't know. I mean, I love to... Is it a hobby to study the Bible? Is that a hobby? That's my hobby. Hebrew, Greek, Bible study, weightlifting. I mean, trading, like farming. My hobbies and my work, they overlap. All right, they overlap. So you're on a 2-day fast. Shout out to Dak Tube. You're starving but feels good too on day 2. By day 3, you'll feel way better, man. Day 3, that's that like... That's where you'll feel good. Carbs feed cancer. Carbs feed everything. Everything lives on carbs. All right? So, you know, it's not... High carb is not for everybody. If you have the big C, maybe go on a ketogenic diet. All right? Carbs feed everything. They feed the bad bacteria in your gut. Like, look, if you're unhealthy, maybe high carb isn't a good idea. I don't know. All I'm saying is this. Carbs feed everything because glucose is life juice, okay? Glucose is life juice. Keith says, I eat a very clean whole food diet as well. I play hockey several days a week. Is it essential that I walk while working to get more lean? So look, I can only tell you this. When I implemented the walk while work rule, even if it's slow walk, yeah, you can stay lean very easily. And when I say lean, I'm not talking about being shredded. All right, I'm talking about this kind of leanness level. This kind of leanness level. Right here. You can maintain this, or at least I should say, I can maintain this pretty effortlessly, all right? Pretty effortlessly. This is like, literally, I'm not even kidding you, like, I've been eating over 5,000 calories a day now since April. All right, because I'm trying actually to, I'll be honest, I've cut back. The last few weeks, I haven't been eating that much. But this was at the peak of my eating over 5,000 calories a day for a number of weeks. And I'd say that this level of leanness can be easily maintained. Which I think I'm over 15% body fat. I think I'm like 17% body fat here. But here's the thing. The reason why I think it's possible is because when you're intaking more energy, how do I explain this? I know calories in versus calories out is a thing, right? But if you're intaking more energy and you have more energy to put out, I just feel like it creates a better environment for your body to prioritize lean tissue and not want to hang on to fat, because there's no need to hang on to fat. Your body's getting so much energy. Why would it want to hang on to fat when it's getting so much energy? It's just how I feel. So the walking and all this, like, even if you're burning more calories and it's keeping you at maintenance or even a slight deficit for the day, you feel like you're not in a deficit. You feel like you're in a caloric surplus. Like you have that energy. You always feel carved up. You always feel like full glycogen. Like you get in the gym, you're ready to go. Like you wake up, you're ready to go. You're playing with your kids on the trampoline, jumping. They're tired out. You're like, come on, kids. You know, you're a 40-year-old man. But anyway, guys. Shout out to Eddie. He says, look at Jason's calves. They're terrible. My calves are terrible, bro. But I'll be honest. They're getting a little... They're defined. They're small. They're small. Yeah, and no one's liking the stream. That's crazy. You can never store fat in your legs. Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen when I'm old. Like right now, I'm about to be 35 in a month. So I don't know what it'll be like when I'm 45. I don't know what it'll be like when I'm 55. Okay. But I've always been a contrarian, okay? So, am I natty? I don't know, Matt. Besides Tren, a little bit of Anavar, some Deca, some Test, some HGH, pretty natural. Well, the worst thing I do is probably... Yeah, so Invar says the same thing. He says, when you have enough fuel, your body has no reason to protect itself and will allow you to have more energy to move. Yeah. That's how I feel. I mean, that's just been my own personal experience. And guys, I do not have lean genetics, all right? When I was a kid, I was extremely fat, like extremely fat. So I don't have good genetics for being lean. I'm not a hard gainer. I'm an easy gainer. I'm a super easy gainer, okay? Like, so I found out what finally works for me to be lean. But praise the Lord. Look, without the Lord, nothing's possible. Health is not possible. Energy is not possible. Praise God. You know. Anyway, guys, I gotta go. I wasn't keeping track of the time. There's a VIP stream going on in Discord right now. God bless you guys in Jesus' name. May the Lord bless you and your families, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.